What's up, you guys? It's Jacob Darkblade, and it's This Week in WWE. Professional wrestlers with Olympic backgrounds. Now, today we're going to be looking on WrestleNews.com on WWE superstars with Olympic backgrounds. Now, I don't believe this is everyone, but this is the major ones that they put on the website. I will put the link down below if you guys want to look at more information, and this is as of 2013, so it might not be exactly accurate. Now, in my last one, the others where I'd I'd put a link down and I'm not showing the website. My tablet's not charged for me to do this, and I wanted to show you guys some the stuff that some of the websites have. So this might be the only one I do this style, but next time I will have a better style, and also with my tablet being charged, I don't want to go into really deep into editing because it is 9 o'clock at night. It's a late video, but stuff happens. I've been real busy. And yeah. So first superstar we're gonna go to is, of course, Kurt Angle, as he is their first Olympic gold medalist who won it in freestyle wrestling at the 1996 Olympics, and remarkably with a broken neck. And 2 years, he entered the 2 short years later, he would be win the WWE World Heavyweight WWE Championship in 2000, and he went try to go for the Olympics again in 2012, but injury ended those hopes, and now he's focused in TNA Wrestling, which is another company, sort of like New Japan Pro Wrestling, World Wrestling Entertainment, and Lucha Underground. Now, if we'll load. Next one we have is Bad News Brown. At the 1976 Olympics, Bad News Brown won the bronze medal in heavyweight judo. No other heavyweight American has yet to qualify for any medal when it comes to judo. Brown would fight across Japan and spent a few years in the World Wrestling Entertainment. His nonsense attitude is still talked about today. In 2007, Brown passed away from a heart attack. I will continue. I'm just going to read all the information. There's other information on this that you guys might like, and I'll still show it to you guys. Next is Vernie Jean. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Vernie Jean was an alternate for the freestyle wrestling team in 1948. He never got a chance to showcase his talent, and Jean thought it was because of his relationship with the professional wrestling business. In the 1960s, Jean created the AWA, which ended up being one of the last territory promotions around before having to close as Vince McMahon's continued to expand World Wrestling Entertainment. Jean was introduced into the World Wrestling Entertainment Hall of Fame in 2006. For those that do not know what AWA is, it is one of the brands of wrestling where you had Georgia Wrestling, like some of these like lower brands like OVW, Ring of Honor. I know Ring of Honor is getting a bit bigger, but I'm still counting it as kind of lower. Not like in comparison to World Wrestling Entertainment, sort of NXT, and other like local brands. And most of these brands like AWA got bought by Vince McMahon because they were planning on expanding their product, where they started in, I believe what I heard, they started in over to the upper left of the United States, and it was about 13 states. About 5-7 states they aired in. Well, they made production in, but then they slowly started to expand, and then they went basically how Americans came to basically take statehood and get more states, and they grew. Basically, kind of how they did it by buying other promotions. Now, continue. Next, we have the self-proclaimed world's strongest man It is Mark Henry. In the middle of the 1990s, Mark Henry entered world records in powerlifting for a snatch, clean, and jerk squat, bench press, and deadlift. He entered the 1996 Olympics as a captain of the American team, but an injury would preclude him from doing well. He would join World Wrestling Entertainment after as the world's strongest man, and he has been with them ever since. Henry just came back for nearly a year-long absence. Now, if we continue. Now, here we go, Danny Hodge. In 1952 Olympics saw Danny Hodge hunt for gold in wrestling, but he came up empty-handed, finishing 5th. He returned 4 years later and earned the silver medal. Hodge entered the NWA years after taking the silver medal and was known for inhuman strength. He was also entered boxing going 8-2. Since leaving as an active competitor, Hodge hasn't made any public appearances. And NWA is another wrestling brand, kind of like how AWA. I know, my math teacher, before I go on, there's a lot of abbreviations. NJPW, TNA, World WWE, AWA, NWA. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, now Ken Parda. I don't know what number we're on. I think we're in like 6. But after failed 1968 Olympic chance for shot put, Ken Parcher turned his attention to weightlifting. He was considered a favorite for the 1972 Olympics, but did not place in medal competition. He joined wrestling business in 1973 and competed for the World Wrestling Entertainment in AWA. He would take part in the main event level fights, but was never able to win the top strap. Parcher spent many years with the WWE and backstage roles after retiring in the late 1980s. I'm sorry about that if you guys heard that. The ringing, it's just I got a notification on my phone. But we should get wrapping up. Oh, here's actually one I did not know. Alberto Del Rio, Mexico's greatest import, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, former United States Champion, and current member of the League of Nations. In summer 2000, Alberto Del Rio attempted to join the Olympics for wrestling. Due to Mexico not having the funds to send a team, Rio did not go. Instead, Rio entered MMA competing in Japan and Mexico. He went 9-5, but hasn't competed in MMA since he signed with the World Wrestling Entertainment. He is currently in his first major face push and serve as the World Heavyweight Champion. As I said, this was prior. He is no longer World Heavyweight Champion, and since then they've unified the titles, where now it's the World Heavyweight Championship, which I'll get that. It looks similar like mine, as I am a champion in my own right. World Wrestling, the World Heavyweight Championship right here. I am a champion in my own right. Believe that. Now, hopefully we can wrap this up soon. I don't know what number we're on. I think we have more. Okay. Here is I believe this is Samoan. Masa Sadio. Masa Sadio represented Japan for freestyle wrestling in 1964 Olympics. He came in 7th and ended up making his list of top 10 Olympic wrestlers that year. After that, Sadio fought mostly for the NWA, AWA, and World Wrestling Entertainment. His only success was in the AWA when he became their top champion. He officially retired from competition in 1999. Now, here's one. The Iron Sheik was a member of the Iranian Greco-Roman team for the 1968 Olympics. He did not leave with any medals, but returned in 1972 as an assistant coach for the United States. After ending the World Wrestling Game, the Sheik won the WWE Championship and would be most known for dropping it to Hulk Hogan to begin a new era. While his wrestling days have passed, the Sheik always stayed in the headlines with his insane and often hysterical rants. Now, for those that don't know who the Iron Sheik is, he is probably one of the biggest heels in wrestling, in professional wrestling. Where his character, he was basically Iron. He pulled off, like he was all against America. How kind of like Rusev was whenever he first came, where he was for Russia, but the Iron Sheik was for Iran. And Sergeant Slaughter, I believe, also dealt with Iran, was for Iran at some time before he came to the United. Like he was originally with the United States, but his character was for the United States, but then he went back to Iran or some other, I think it was Germany or something. Then he went back to the United States. Don't know why. Now, do. Here we go. Here's the last one. Number 10, Mad Dog Backin. At barely 18 years old, Mad Dog Backin found himself in the 1948 Olympics after a 58-second win. Backin ended up in 7th place in the 174-pound wrestling class. He made a name for himself in the wrestling world for his brawling style, which led him to 5 AWA heavyweight championships. Now in a wheelchair, Backin was introduced into the 2010 Hall of Fame WWE Hall of Fame class of 2010. Now, that is all 10 of the wrestlers they mentioned on this website. I will have a link down in the description below if you want to look at any of their other information. I don't know what they have. I guess they have random stuff. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys leave a comment. I hope you subscribe for more. Check Darkblade. Your YouTube WWE World on your YouTube heavyweight. Wait. Your WWE YouTube heavyweight champion of the world. Check Darkblade. Now I'm out.